A look at your box score. Gabriel still pictured there, who started this one 7 of 10 for 68 yards before the head injury. Lamar Jackson, not his best here. 2 interceptions, 1 deflected, but a low arm angle, that is, and a tipped ball. They want better production from the former multi-time MVP. Nonetheless, Baltimore back to even 500 at 5-5. All right, back with the fellas. So much to sink our teeth into in this one, but certainly the storyline that stole our attention in the middle of the game was the entry of Shedeur Sanders, seeing his first football. We saw it all in this one. An interception, another one that was dropped, a fumble not recovered by the defense, took a big-time hit in the back from Roquan Smith, had a couple chances late in this game on game-winning drives. Pat, I'm coming to you first here. How do you look at Shedeur after his first taste of NFL action?
And you know, it's tough, just because the game plan wasn't built for him. The game plan was built for Dillon Gabriel, right? So therefore, this game plan wasn't tailored for his skill set. So I would say he got in there, handled it well. Yeah, he made some mistakes, but this is some film that he's going to be able to go back, watch. Stefanski going to have to do a better job of protecting him, play calling. I would have loved to see some more screens implemented in that ball game, because the Baltimore Ravens just had their ears pent back the entire game, just sending 5, sending 6. So therefore, now you have to force those guys in the back end to make tackles, and Stefanski didn't do a good job of game planning. Well, adjusting.
And this is what's expected in the life for a rookie quarterback who has yet to play. You get your first action in the month of November, which is a very, very important month when you look at playoff implications. And you're playing against a divisional foe who has no room for error in the Baltimore Ravens. It felt like when Shedeur came into this game, instantly it clicked. We're bringing pressure. Let's see, can he handle the heat? And when you look at the entire ordeal with their offense, there are a lot of concerns with the Cleveland Browns, especially on the offensive line, and it surfaced for Shedeur Sanders. And to Pat's point, as a play caller, that's where you have to make the adjustments. Our offensive line, they're a bit uneasy right now. Let's get him some rhythm throws. The first pass was something that I would love to see implemented with Shedeur the entire opportunity in the second half. The first pass was a rollout, quick rhythm throw. Get him in that rhythm. Get him in space where he's not a sitting duck for the Ravens to kind of peel their ears back on and hunt, because they hunt. Now for the Baltimore Ravens, this was a game you could not afford to lose.
Yeah.
It was close, and this is what happens when you play Cleveland in that 4 p.m. window. They're a bad ball club. It's gloomy. It's 4 o'clock, but it feels like it's 10 p.m. because it's dark outside, and you can kind of sleep at the wheel a little bit in those situations, and Baltimore did. But they made the necessary plays to be out to get the much-needed win.
They got to be better. We'll get to that side in a moment, JJ, but I want your thoughts here, because I know you're familiar with Pandora's box. It feels open right now. Shedeur Sanders in the football game. We heard the reaction, visceral from the crowd. Hard to take him out moving forward.
Well,
maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. I have been saying for some time this season, we will see Shedeur Sanders go out there for the Cleveland Browns. It was either going to be because of poor play from Dillon Gabriel. At this point, we had seen 6 games of him. You hope it's going to be better. But more likely than not, whether it was play or injury, we were going to see Shedeur Sanders. So the concussion knocks out Dillon Gabriel for this game. It's hard to get out of protocol in just 1 week. So it is very possible. I would say the odds are more likely than not that Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback this upcoming week for the Cleveland Browns. But before we get to that, we also have to put into context and perspective Cam Robinson, the left tackle, who's the backup left tackle at this point in the season. He went out in the game. And so Shedeur Sanders was down his blindside protector. Maybe that impacted certain things that Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Rees, now the play caller at OC, could do for Shedeur Sanders. He was a guy who looked like a rookie out there who, until 3 weeks ago, wasn't even working with the second team, right? He was the third-string quarterback. They go trade Joe Flacco. He becomes a second-string quarterback, and now he's thrust into throwing with the ones really for the first time, right? And so now he's very likely going to get a full week of practice for the Cleveland Browns. Hopefully they can get a little healthier. Hopefully the game plan is going to be more tailored to Shedeur. And they go on the road, but they face the Las Vegas Raiders. That's not the Baltimore Ravens. Right. And so we will get a much better idea, if it is Shedeur, if Dillon Gabriel remains in concussion protocol, of what kind of quarterback Shedeur is in the NFL this upcoming week.
That's what happens when you draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. There will always be questions, and now with having seen both there will continue to be as we look at the side-by-side of their Week 11 performances. Gabriel again exited with a concussion. Shedeur gets his first taste of NFL action. There were moments, there were flashes, but maybe we will see more. Shedeur, 4 of 16 for 47. Down to 3-7 and their 4th consecutive home loss. All right, the 49ers coming off losses this season. It's pretty simple. They regroup and they react. Another win here off a loss as San Francisco proves to 7-4 on the year. Back, and you know, it's all about the response, especially in that division with quarterbacks coming in and out. Brock Purdy back into this game, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, now 4-1 against the division. But Mac, you're looking at a team that just scored a season-high 41 points. Is that a function of the opponent or getting healthy and starting to fire on all cylinders?
More so about the opponent. Now, there were some good right moments in this ball game. They were able to exploit. They connected in all 3 phases, special team-wise, offensively, and defensively. But this was a lot about the opponent. But this is what you're supposed to do. Arizona, they're in a bad spot right now. For San Francisco, finally getting your star quarterback back in the lineup, having him throw 3 touchdowns, seeing George Kittle emerge, that's encouraging. Yep. Not to mention what CMC has been doing. And defensively, with all the injuries they had to fight through, this is a unit that's now starting to become more of a scrappier unit, and they're great in terms of tackling. They don't miss a lot of tackles. I love that. And they're playing with a lot of confidence. Mm-hmm. And yes, they're 7-4, but within their division, they're not afraid of the big bad Rams. They're not afraid of the big bad Seattle Seahawks. They believe they can compete with those said teams at any given time. They're 7-4 right now. You look at the next 3 ball games for the San Francisco 49ers, at home against Carolina, on the road against Cleveland, and then you get Tennessee at home. This is a great 3-game stretch for the San Francisco 49ers to make things extremely interesting in the top of their division in the NFC South, especially NFC West, especially seeing what happened with Seattle and the Rams. Seattle losing 1, and now they're 1 game behind Seattle.
Do you see it the same way, Pat? Because I don't want to downplay this performance by Purdy. The numbers don't jump off the page at you, 19 of 26, 200 yards, but 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the timeliness and accuracy of some of those throws made you feel like, yes, QB1 is back, and you should be hopeful because.
Yeah, Brock Purdy is back in the lineup. You just see the offense move a little bit more fluently. He knows where the ball needs to go. George Kittle got involved in this ball game. We know what Christian McCaffrey brings to this offense. And picking up those key 3rd downs, keeping their offense on the field, their defense off the field, that's why the defense was able to play as fast, as fresh, as confident as they did because of the way the offense was able to sustain drives. And the Arizona Cardinals, you just can't win ball games like this, turning the ball over 3 times, 16 turnovers, franchise record in this ball game, especially when you're playing up against a good team like the San Francisco 49ers. Last thing on the 49ers, this was a game that they had to win. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because they still have one of the weakest schedules in the NFL. So they have to be able to take advantage of moments like this, and they did.
I think it's a great point. And for the Niners, you don't want to take any opponent not so seriously. But you know, he had 1 target. He didn't run that, or excuse me, he had 3 targets, had 1 catch for 0 yards. And so they're working him back into it, right? And so great to see George Kittle. Great to see CMC. They're going to get some wide receiver help. When Brandon Ayuk comes back, who knows? And I don't think that they are really banking on that because that would be foolish of them. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, though, the Cardinals are a team that they are going to have a lot of big decisions to make sooner rather than later. Kyler Murray is going to be on injured reserve for at least 2 more games. We'll see if he remains on injured reserve because there is no postseason future for the Cardinals. Their season is done. And so that is going to be the biggest question facing the Cardinals moving forward as they try to at least remain competitive in this final stretch.
Yeah, no final decision made on Kyler Murray's future there just yet, but the recent handling does feel like some finality is approaching us there. As for